Okay, I wasn't really going to comment, but I can't. I just, the level of stupidity just intrigues me. Um, okay, you guys might have heard about Cassidy Boon. Basically, for the short story, she's a 20-year-old chick who thinks that she's basically like that moped person English and can post whatever she wants, and people will think she's awesome. She came of fame, for want of a better word, by talking about how Australians are racist towards Aborigines by eating Vegemite. Now, I'd post a piece of her video, but let's be honest, she's really stupid. So I'll just read a couple of things from her. She talks about how Vegemite's incredibly racist towards Aborigines, obviously since the 1950s. How they were classed as Australians classed as animals in the country. Maybe she's got a slight point, but not about the Vegemite. Now, in our country, obviously I live in New Zealand. It's like Holdens and Fords. You can either have Vegemite or Marmite. Marmite's better, always better. Vegemite's an imitation. So I don't care if you don't want to eat Vegemite, but I will pick apart a couple of things that she had to say in regards to that. Now, she believes that Australians use Vegemite because it's their way of stripping the culture from Aborigines, and when they eat, Vegemite, obviously, to make sure that all Australia knows that being black is bad and that it's not worthy of you, and it's only good for vitamin B. Now, I'm taking that straight from her page. She says basically it's a form of white racist ritual of consumption and embracing the culture. I don't know how fucking stupid she is. It seems like she might be. Obviously never eaten Vegemite, but she's obviously assumed that that's what it is. Marmite's better in our country, but that is what it is. Now, that being said, I don't care. If she wants to attack Australia over Vegemite, by all means. Stupidity intrigues me, but go ahead. What I do have an issue with is the haka. She seems to believe that the haka is a sexist thing towards women, and is just basically promoting violence against women, and telling women to go home and stay in the bedroom. I take it she's never met any New Zealand woman, but I will try and add a piece of her video, and we'll see, and I'll talk about it. We'll see.
Pretend country like Narnia. Well, I googled it and it turns out it's actually real. Oops, silly me. So, being the intellectual that I am, I did some research on this new country, and what I found was not pretty. New Zealand seems to be a country full of intolerance and racism. Like Australians, they're all just a bunch of white people who took the place from Aboriginals, and now they're still trying to oppress them to this day. The indigenous people are called Maori, and they're treated like dirt. Even though they're like the little brother to Australia, they still manage to oppress the Maori, just like the Aussies oppress the Aboriginals. At first I thought they treated their Aboriginals well when I saw that they had a football team called the All Blacks, which I assumed was like a safe place for black people to explore their sports and feelings at.
What? I didn't just fucking hear that. It's not like a group that you join at university to go and hang out with your mates. Are you kidding me?
It's called the haka, and it's one of the most sexist things I've ever seen. Okay, so let me explain the haka. You know that football team, the All Blacks? Well, before every game, they tend to do this really weird, intimidating dance. They do it in front of the opposing team to try and, scare them or something. These people will literally stick their tongues out and make exaggerated masculine movements that totally hint at domestic violence and rape. It's obvious that the haka isn't really meant to scare off the opposing team. It's meant to assert dominance over women and scare us into submission. So out of everything that I've read about New Zealand, the haka is seriously like the worst thing you guys have ever given the world. And as a feminist and a social justice activist, I must use my power to stop it. I'm now starting a new hashtag.
I would. That is almost funny. Have you not heard of Kapa Haka? Yeah, I get the distinct impression in our country that women would knock you the fuck out. And any guy who said that to their missus, or girlfriend, or wife, or anything that we want to phrase them as, bae, which I hate, yeah, would get knocked out. Simple fact. As for the the haka having anything to do with sex? Um, I don't remember the last time anyone got excited sexually over seeing the haka. It is designed, if you didn't know, as a decoration of war. Um, the idea was that we would use the taiaha and fuck you up. It has absolutely nothing to do with sex. The idea is for you to be legitimately afraid. And you should be. That's the point. It has nothing to do with women. It has nothing to do with sex. You could, if you really, really fumbled for an excuse, you could probably come up with the idea that the only way that women are involved in the haka is about us protecting the woman. It's not about making them go back to the bedroom. Obviously, you've never seen Once Warriors. Perhaps you should. Perhaps you should watch it and learn. I would go into your inability to speak, inability to have your own language. Let's be honest, you come from a country that's attached to America. They don't like you. They won't allow you to be part of their country. So maybe it's not our fault. Maybe the only three things that you have produced from your country is wrestling, ice hockey, and moose. Ice hockey's fun. We don't do ice hockey here. We haven't got ice. I love wrestling. Big fan. Not a big fan of moose. We don't say fush and chups. Okay, Australians say fush and chups, but that's only because we're taking the piss of the accent. It's fish and chips. Okay, fish and chips. Okay, and if your grammar are you unable to understand the difference between there, and there, and you understand can't pronounce properly, can't speak properly, are only able to write out in text speak, let's be honest, you're not old enough for this conversation. You can be as intellectual as you want, but if you did not know that New Zealand was a real country, and that hobbits do not come from New Zealand, we do not have hobbits. We have a wizard. I remember we have a wizard, but we don't have hobbits. We don't have orcs. They come from J.R.R. Tolkien. If you did your research, you'd realise that it wasn't written in New Zealand. We filmed it here because we have fantastic scenery, and then we had easy people to use. Okay? You are a fucking muppet. Okay? And if you have to dress like a pork roast, someone's gonna someday roast you. Good luck.